What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk a little bit about what the news is not telling us. We're going to give you a boots on the ground Denver real estate market perspective from a buyer and seller. So I want to dive in. I want to make sure that the truth is coming to you from actual perspective of people that know what's going on, not the news channel. So stay tuned. We're going to drop a couple nuggets in here for you and maybe some things that you hadn't thought about. What's up, everybody? Jeremy Kane, Why Invest Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. I work for eXp Realty. I work hard to bring you the most updated information on the market and what we're seeing. And today we're going to go a little old school and kind of dive into that. So while you're here, smash that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Absolutely, those comments, love them. If you have questions, put them on here and I will make sure that I include them in my upcoming content as I drop videos every single week. If you have questions or something spurs your mind to be like, okay, yeah, let's talk. I have a link to my Calendly in the comments. Definitely reach out. I would love to talk about your situation so we can help you start your journey or continue your journey to financial freedom through real estate. All right, so let's talk about what's going on, what you're seeing in the headlines, what you're seeing from real estate agents and lenders and posts. Are the market shifting? We've reached the top of the market, and that's absolutely not the truth. The market will continue to appreciate as we move through, kind of some trying economic times. If there's not anything major that happens, I have no worries that the market is going to continue to appreciate. The good news is it's not going as crazy. So let's start a little bit from the seller's perspective. The sellers have been used to multiple offers, way over asking, not having to do anything at inspection, not even considering concessions, all of that stuff. And that's been over pretty much the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. And it just got really intense in the spring or winter, really, in January of 2021. And we've kind of seen an uptick, and it kind of leveled off for seasonality in the summer last year, and then this spring or January, February was crazy. So that was absolutely something that we weren't used to. It was too much. We were seeing, 6 figures over asking, sometimes multiple 6 figures over asking as you went up in price point, but 15, 20, 25, 30% over asking to win bids, which is not a sustainable pace. It's not a healthy market, and it puts a strain on affordability, especially with interest rates that were so low then and have gone up considerably since the beginning of this year, have kind of stabilized, in the fives. So that's something that we have to consider, is that affordability. And so with that said, the sellers just need to be a little more realistic. There's always those outliers now that were crazy hot, the perfect home, had everything redone, whatever. And those are still outliers, right? And I've seen, in the past, we've just priced at that outlier point. Now we need to, kind of dial that back a little bit. We still might get there if we price appropriately, but pricing at that outlier price puts the seller at risk of being on the market a little bit longer. And this is kind of where that iBuyer, don't have to show your house kind of thing comes into play. But the truth is that those are, you lose a ton more money when you go with those kind of easy way out. So we're listing homes. I listed a home, and we just kind of stayed on the market. And when we sold, it worked out. When we got under contract, it was at or above list price. I had a couple that were on for a couple weeks, and we still got list or above. And so that's what we're working with. But it takes, we're having 1, 2, 3 offers maybe if, all the stars align, where before we were seeing 20, 30 offers, which is not necessary. That's a lot of wasted time, if you ask me, because only one person wins. So the seller's expectations need to be tempered a little bit, but they're still gaining, and this is what we need to remind ourselves, is they're still gaining or, benefiting from all of that appreciation, 40% in some areas in the Denver area over the last year and a half to 2 years. So that's absolutely insane. Think about that. A $500,000 house is worth $100,000 more, and all you did was live in it. So there's that. So sellers, we're still good. It's still very much a seller's market. It's just not the hot, torrid, unfathomable seller's market we're seeing. So getting used to that's a little bit different. And I'm going to stop right here and tell you that realtors and lenders and people in the industry have been asking for this market that we have right now for many years. And so we're here and everyone's kind of panicking, like, how am I going to get business? How am I going to do this? And I'm here to tell you that this is a more healthy market. Buyers can still maybe even see a house twice, or actually do an inspection and get some things taken care of. That's kind of the seller's perspective. So let's talk about buyers. And buyers, I'm going to tell you right now, still, be ready to bring your A game. Those prime, completely updated stage, really nice homes and in competitive price points are still flying off the shelves. Actually, the luxury market's still a little bit actually hotter than under $1 million market. So that's still happening. So if you're looking for a turnkey, perfect location, all of this stuff, don't expect that there's not going to be competition. However, there is less competition overall, even for those turnkey ones, than there has been in the past. So buyers have an opportunity right now to get in and take advantage of this. And you say, well, interest rates are high, and now, what if the prices go down? The honest truth is, if you get into a home, we're going to see historical appreciation, hopefully appreciation levels come back to historic levels, and that's going to feel really slow, right? When we've been talking 20% and all of a sudden we get a 3 or 5% appreciation year over year, people are going to be like, what am I going to do? And so that's just an adjustment we need to have, but we have to understand our house can't appreciate 100% every 4 to 5 years. That would be unsustainable. Obviously, affordability would be out of the question at that point. And so as buyers, now's an opportunity with less competition, still bring that A game. And, maybe you're competing 1, 2, or 3 offers, or 1, right? Just come with a good offer. What's the house worth? Maybe actually look at the comps and the CMAs that your buyer's agents are sending you, and get under contract and get out of renting. Because I don't care what the interest rate is. I don't care what the appreciation is. Renting is 100% interest. None of that money is going towards your wealth at all. All it's doing is providing the shelter, the basic need for you. If you own a house, you're at the very least, have a forced savings account building up equity by paying your principal down. Okay, and historically, we're gonna see appreciation. It's gonna, tick up as we go, and you're paying a 6% interest rate instead of 100% interest rate, or whatever that interest rate that you fall under may be, over the next 6 months. It's still better than your 100% interest rate for rent. And the good news is we actually can get in. We don't have to, dump all our cash into it even to have a chance to get an offer accepted. And so that's the opportunity that buyers have right now. And if we're really talking about it, we have a great program if you're in a lease and you're in trouble, check out the early lease termination program that myself and Nicole Ruth have, and we will give you a credit to cover your lease termination. And so if that's you, absolutely, this is who I'm talking to 100% is, book a comment or hit the comments, book a date in my Calendly link. Let's talk about your situation and let's take advantage of this opportunity, because I've been talking to other people and the writing's on the wall. Next spring is going to be crazy. We're talking about a recession, maybe a little bit lower interest rates, which is, and then we also have the crisis that we're going to face where everyone has these 2.5% interest rates, and they have, maybe a too big a house and they need to downsize, but they're going to downsize into a house that's smaller and pay the same monthly payment. So they might as well just stay in the big house that they've been in and figure it out. And so that's going to limit inventory even more, which is going to, maybe we have a little bit less, buyers in the market, but if we have less inventory, as you've seen over the years, it's not good. Because that'll continue to drive prices up. People have to compete for those houses. So we're not at the end of this. Next spring will absolutely be, a crazy market, and we'll see. I mean, hopefully we don't get to the 20%, the 100K over asking, the appraisal gaps. Hopefully you don't have to push it that far, but I have a hard time believing there's going to be enough inventory to offset, especially because the buyer pool is probably going to increase with the lower interest rates. Lenders are going to be crazy busy with refis for everybody that bought a house this year if the rates go down. So that's just going to be a really crazy market. So expect that as a buyer. But what I'm saying is, buyers, be happy right now. You have a program to buy out your lease, You have an opportunity to get in the market without competing and going crazy, but you do have to bring your A game to get it and help you realize that success of homeownership. That's kind of where we're at from a buyer-seller perspective. If you have questions about the market in general, that's my June market update on my YouTube channel is absolutely a great place to find it. Follow me on IG at JKCO Realtor. Always, keeping updated with that. So life is good. I want to connect with you. I want to meet you where you're at and talk about your journey to, finding that perfect home and getting on with this and quit paying someone else's mortgage and start paying yours. And if you are one of those downsized people, let's have a real conversation and see what makes sense. Because the only time to buy or sell a house is when you are ready and your situation determines that, because you're never going to test the market right. You're never going to guess the market right. And that's why I like to make a plan. And if the time's right for you, let's get it, let's execute, and let's get it done. So Jeremy Kane, eXp Realty, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye-bye.